Hey everybody, this is Corey again here from CJ Custom Fishing Lures, coming to you with another painting video. Tonight, we're going to be painting some TWP 100s for the site, and it's also I'm doing a special tonight doing this because I'm going to paint 3 of them, but I'm only going to use just a few colors, but a lot of the colors are the same ones, and so a lot of times you can make baits would not have to have a lot of colors, and you can just move them or tweak them just a little bit so you can make the color or make a bait that you really want to make and you're excited to make. So we're going to get started doing this, and I hope that you find the videos interesting. I hope you find them helpful in your painting. I know that watching people paint over the years and trying things out has been helpful for me. So please, if you're new, please check out my other videos as well. So we're going to do this. We're going to get started with a nice little base coat. I'm going to use a base coat from Createx. I'm going to use opaque white. Depending on how long this all takes, but I might, as I shake this up, I might fast forward as I'm painting through here because, you know, it's just painting white on a couple different baits, but maybe it won't take too long. If you've never tried these top water ploppers, as I call them, very similar to River to Sea's Whopper Plopper, even Berkeley's Chapo. I know there's some other varieties coming out as well. Very, very good baits, very exciting baits to use, especially when you got that top water bite going and you want something explosive to happen. These are amazing baits to use. They really, really cause some just massive strikes, and it's so much fun fishing top water. And so if you get a chance, try them out. They are found on our website. Our website is www.cjcustomfishinglures.com, or just encourage you just to try one. Just go over to River to Seas or Berkeley or something. Just try one of these top water baits. You will not be disappointed. I was fishing one that I made a video of a little while ago. I'll put the video up there. And I went with my buddy up to one of the Finger Lakes, Lake Otisco. Caught a beautiful bass, and I'll put that up there. I am using my Neo Awada airbrush to do these, to paint these on. I'm going to heat set it, and I always heat set with my heat gun, my Work Pro heat gun. Just going to give it some warm. I am going to put some more like base layers. I love to put pearl white on here as a base layer. But for one of the colors that we're using, we need to make sure we got a good coat of white on here. So, actually 2 of them, when I come to think of it. Really good coat of white. So, just going to heat set this really quick. I'm probably going to come back and throw some more on there. And I've had the question asked, and I've seen people ask the question to other people as well. They go, how many baits can you do at one time? And, you know, as you get better at painting baits, and as you get better at painting some of the patterns that you really, really like to paint, you learn to paint them a little faster. But also, if you're trying to make what they call a run, where you have multiples of the same bait, there's 2 things that limit you. One is the number of blanks or baits that you have to paint. That will limit you. Here, I'm putting another coat on here. That will limit you of how many you can make. And the other thing is how many helping hands or holders, whatever you use to hold your bait so you can paint it, that you have. So if you need to paint, or you want to paint 20 of them, you got to be able to have 20 of them held or displayed so you can paint them, or you might have to do it in a couple ways. I think I have 13 or 14 helping hands. So when I'm doing, per se, these baits, that's what I'm limited to. I can only do 13 or 14 of these at a time, and that's a lot of those to do. Now, when I'm doing 1.5s, as I did in a few videos, or 2.5s, or even the jerk baits, I clip the bill into the alligator clip on the helping hand. So by clipping it there, now that turns into just not doing 13, is now I can do 26. You know, so that's a lot more that you can do, especially if you only want to have like maybe 6 of one color, where I've done that for shows. I'm like, well, I only need 4, or I only need 6. Well, that's only 2 helping hands or 3 helping hands. If you're doing 4, it's only 2, 1 on each side. And so you could do a variety of patterns and kind of do what I'm doing here tonight. What I'm looking to do is just having these up here, but using the colors wisely so I can paint a few of these up. And I was hoping I can show you that as something as you're learning to paint lures, because as you get better at it, you're going to want to be a little more proficient in doing that. So, going to throw some from Createx, some pearl white. Love putting pearl white on here. Got a little dried spot on the bottle. Get that off. Now, a couple of these I need to put a really good coat on. Maybe this one is one of them, because we're going to be doing kind of like a white ghost pattern. So I want to make sure we got a good coating of the pearl on there. So I'll set there. Then I got another one that's going to be very similar per se, but it needs to have a good coat of white. And then the belly, I got to make sure is good. So get this on here. And then if I get this last one, then I'll show you what one of them looks like. Let me move the bottle out of there for a little. And as you get better at doing this, it's a lot of fun, where, especially when you're painting for your tackle box, and you're thinking, all right, what colors do I need? And you're like, looking and say, you know what, I can do that 3 patterns right there with almost the same colors, just tweaked a little bit. And so you go at it. You figure out how to do it and paint away. So this is the base coat on here. I'm going to put a quick heat set to it, and so we can show you what it looks like. Get the pearl on there. I am going to throw some paint shifter on this white. I really like using that one paint shifter, so I think it even brings that pearl out a little bit more. It gives it kind of a neat look. I mean, the pearl itself gives a really nice look. Gives it like that minnowish flash look that you hope to see when you have your lure popping through, to something to attract the fish. But this paint shifter just adds a little another dimension to it, and it's really, really nice. It's subtle, but it's nice. So, really quick, there's our pearl white on there. Looks really, really nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the paint shifter, which is from Turbo Dork. It's the one I really like to use, Pearly Gates. It says it's best if it's used over white, so kind of makes sense to use it right now. I put it in, and I always add some reducer. So I will add some of the 4011 reducer from Createx. Just helps it spray a little better. I try not to put too much in there. I don't want the integrity of the color to be lost, so. Give it a good shot all the way around. Really, I'm covering everything, but I really want to focus on the belly. Especially with, I think it's this one. But mostly we're going to see from the white is the belly. So, like I said, I'm going to do it all over, but really want to focus right there. So I think that looks good. So let me give it a quick heat set, because we're going to start adding some other colors. We're going to start having fun. Now granted, it's not going to be complicated, this pattern. This is kind of a nice one, and nice and easy to, sit down some night. Sit down and say, you know what? It's the winter time. I want to be ready for that top water bite. I got a few blanks. Let's get some top water baits in the box. And then you got it all checked off. Or maybe you're painting for a show that's coming up and you're looking to sell some lures at a lot of these local fisherman flea markets and clubs, and you just want to showcase some of it. So you're like, all right, time to paint 4 or 5 of these in a different color. So what I'm going to do right now, look at that. It's a nice paint shifter on there. Looks really good. What we're going to do is we're going to set that one aside for a second. And I'm going to focus with these two right here. So one of these, I believe it's this one, is going to be done in what I call my red creature bait. All right, and then the other one's going to be a bleeding bone bait. Still both using red. And we're going to be using from Createx the bright red. That's what we're going to be using for this color. So for the creature bait, very simply, and remember, red shoots really nice. So I got to turn the pressure down for that. I'm just going to start here in the front of the bait. I'm going to paint from the front to the back. Front to the back. I'm going to try to let a lot of overspray come down the sides. Let me get that out of the way. Now, that looks pretty good right there. I'm going to try to take it down to where this fin is on each side. So I'm just going to angle a little bit. And do the same thing down the other side. So I have a nice red top on there. And if I look, I'm coming right to the top of the fin. And that side, right to the top of the fin on that side. So it looks really good. We're going to set that aside. Now with this one, which is I like to call the bleeding bone, first thing I'm going to do is spritz it with red. So I want to get it to look like it has some bleeding marks. Okay. And it's okay if it's painted on there a little bit. So we got the bleeding marks. And now what I'm going to focus on is just the front. I want to paint the face red and just let the overspray go. So I'm just going to get the face and the head of this being red. And I just want it to fade on back through the overspray. Even underneath. It's going to cover up the lure. And I talked about this before. If you see, the gill on the back is white, but on the front is red because that's the direction I'm spraying. So it's kind of a cool effect. But I don't want to lose it, so I'm not going to change it up. Kind of gives it a nice look there. So let me heat set this. And the beautiful thing about using the red and the white is you're going to get the dark red up here at the front. And as it goes back, it's going to have the bleeding spot, but it's going to give it like a different shade of red. It's going to maybe even bring out a little bit of pink on it too, which is kind of a unique look. And plus you got underneath on the belly. So there we go. We got the bleeding bone right there. We got the top to the red creature right there. So we still got this one over here. We're still going to leave that one. We're not, well, maybe we are. Ooh, I got to think of where we're at. Yes, we are into that one. So, I was contemplating what pace to go, because one thing when you're making multiple baits at the same time is you want to try to maximize the paint when you put it in the cup. I mean, for the most part, you're not using a lot of paint, and your paints are going to last a while, but the paints get expensive. So you don't want to be wasting a lot of it and dumping a lot of it out. You want to make sure you're using it appropriately. So now I'm going to go to a orange, transparent orange by Createx. And this one right here is going to be our ghost bait. So what I'm going to do with this, might be going to the new jar there here soon. I am just going to take and put a little in the eye socket because I'm going to put another color there. So I'm going to put, I'll probably use this one toward the bottom. And I want it to come out just right there. So I can do the same thing on the other side. And I know this is a ghost pattern, but I'm going to do it on these other ones. I love my top water right on the bottom here in the back. I love putting some orange. Not a lot. And I call it the target because when the bass see it from underneath, or pike or whatever see it, they're going to come up and look at that spot and see it. Now I'm going to do the same thing with a creature bait. Just right here, I'm just going to throw some orange right underneath. Not a lot. Not going to go crazy with these on all the baits. Just in that little spot. And that's it. That's all we have for the orange. So if we just put a couple drops in, we just clear it out really quick, and I'm spraying it all over and dumping it all over my table, making a mess. Boy, I'm glad my wife's not out here. But I'll have it cleaned up, hopefully, before she sees it. So the next color we're going to use is I'm going to use this Caribbean blue, this transparent Caribbean blue. And I'm going to use it on this ghost one and do it as the top part of the eye, just to give it a different coloration. And I'm only going to be putting it on this bait. I won't be using it on the other two. So I'm not going to need a lot. I also know blue shoots very well. So I'm going to fill in the rest of the circle and hit the top. I didn't like how that came out a little watery, so keep the Q-tip on hand. You don't have to worry so much about in the eye socket because that will be covered up. All right, let's go do the other side. There we go. And that's it. That's all we're going to do. A little orange on the bottom, blue on the top. For this bait. Now, our next color, as we're getting ready to wrap these baits up, is I'm going to be using some pearl black. Love using pearl black. So I'm going to be using some pearl black on this. And I'm going to be filling in the eyes on all these, but I'm also going to be using it for some stencil work on the creature bait. And this is where the creature bait gets the creature name. So what I'm going to do is take this one. I'm just going to fill in the eyes black. And come out a little on it. I do that so when I put the eyes in, they pop out. So I can even feel comfortable putting red eyes in there. Do the same thing here, but we're going to do some other work with this in a second. I always try to shoot for the paint in the middle of the eye socket. And then just kind of bring it in a circle motion around the rest of the eye, so I can get the edge of it. And you can see there, nice little on the edge. Gives it that nice little look. Now, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to shoot for the middle. And the point is not to cover up the orange and the blue on the outside. So I just want to fill it in and give the edge a little dark look. Just like that. Woo! That's kind of nice. Do it on the other side. Look at that. Looks really good. So we're looking at some really great baits here, but now what I want to do with the red one, my red creature bait, is I'm going to take this nice little stencil. I believe it's from Insane Custom Stencil Anarchy. I can't remember which one. Every time I look and try to find it, I never find the exact same one again. But I'm going to put this along the top of this bait. So all I'm going to do is lay it right on top, and I'm going to shoot to stay in the middle, and I'm going to try to just go front to back. And there we go. Nice little stencil pattern on top. Now I might want to bring it over on the side a little. So then I just set it back up. Just a little on the side. Okay. I do it on the other side, just a little on the shoulder. And it gives it that creature modeling look on the top. Now you could do some other work with it too, and we have that stencil on that one. Oh, I had the other stencil sitting right here, and it oh, there it is. I found it. The other one is this little like pattern here, which we could put just on the gill plate. Right here. So we just come here and really quick, just a little. It doesn't have to be a lot, and it could just be subtle. Just something subtle to break it up. Okay. So you can see it right there. Looks good. Did I get that even? Oop. Looks like I need to put it just a little lower on this one, and that'll be okay. That'll probably look good too to have it down there just a little too. Oh yeah, there we go. That looks good. Now, you could take the same one on the bleeding bone and do the same thing on the gill plate if you so choose. Now, if you don't like it and you don't want to do it, you don't have to follow what I'm doing. Make sure you hold these stencils still. I have a tendency sometimes that they move around. But there you go. A little something different on this gills. Give it a little look. Give it a little definition to it. So we have those right there. I'm going to keep them handy because we'll show them at the end of things we're doing. So now the last thing I have before I put, I can't remember if I do a paint shifter, but we can try a paint shifter. We can always try one. It doesn't hurt to experiment and see what's out there, right? Because I got a lot of different paint shifters that we can use. Last thing is, I don't necessarily paint the fin on my ghost pattern. I leave the ghost pattern the way it is. And then on my bleeding bone, I usually go with that. But on my creature one, I usually do something with the fin just to give it a little more look to it. I don't want it just solid red. So I think I'm going to do is take my detailed sepia, however you want to say it. I've heard it so many different ways. Don't need a lot. I've always put a little reducer in with this because we don't have a good relationship, some of these detail paints and I. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my piece of foam over here that I found in a packaging. I'm going to lay it right on there. Now you can take a stencil wheel like this to put the fin inside it. If you don't feel that you can freehand it, I think this was from Insane Custom or Whitmore. Like I said, I'm not sure. I forget. I should probably look that up. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to freehand just putting that nice and lightly. Not going to put too much to it. Oh, too much was coming out too quick there. Calm it down a little bit. All right. Turn it over. I had a car sponge, which I'll probably look into getting another one, but I had to use it to clean some stuff up. So there we go. The nice fin right there. And on that side is a well. Hopefully you can see that. And that's what I'm going to do for this bait. And so we have it all set here. And now I'm going to throw some paint shifter on it. Now, I'm not going to put any more paint shifter on the ghost pattern because we got plenty of paint shifter on that one from the pearly gates. I probably won't put anything else on the bleeding bone just because we have a lot coming through with the red. Now, the red one here intrigues me of what we should do. I have a couple over here that deal with red. Let's see, what's this one? That's a hot line. We don't want that. This is the one I was looking for. If you are a Shining fan with that movie, you're going to love this one. This one's called Red Rum. And that's what we're going to use. We're going to spray a little red rum on top of this bait and give it a little bit of a give it a little bit of an effect here. Add the reducer. Gonna turn my pressure back up because for some reason the shifters love a little bit more pressure to come through the gun. There we go. Put a little heat set to it. Now let's see how that did. All right. Give it a little bit of a look. I'm going to shoot it again just to make sure. Going to just shake it one more time. Make sure it was good and shook up. It pretty was already. I pre-shook it before. Just don't feel like it had any of the, I hate to say, the shining parts coming out with this color, but okay, drop a little reducer in. There, now we're getting something. Hope you can see it pop into life over there. All right, so these are the 3 baits that I use to make these patterns, and it's very simple colors. They're very similar and to each other, and just modifying or tweaking the colors just a little bit to get what we need. So just really quick on a recap of what we have here. We start with our base coat of opaque white. Then we shot our pearl white. Then we gave each of them some of the Turbo Dork Pearly Gates paint shifter on top. Then we took our transparent red to paint our creature bait and our bleeding bone bait. After that, we took transparent orange and we painted the eyes and the ghost bait and the bellies underneath each one. Then we came back with the Caribbean blue from Createx, the transparent Caribbean blue, to do the eyes up here on the ghost bait. Put it that way for you. Then we took our pearl black to shade in the eyes, add some of the modeling features, the lines at the top for the creature bait, and give it a little bit of look there. If you wanted the speckle, you could have done that as well. Then we used the sepia, however you want to say it, detail from Createx, to do the fins on the creature bait. And then we finished up by using a little bit of Turbo Dork red rum for a paint shifter on that. Well, I hope these help you out. And here's, again, the stencils that we used to that. So, like I said, I hope this kind of gives you an idea of, like, if you're trying to paint multiple baits at one time, or what I could do with, I just have a few colors. What are some things I can do? Well, here's some different ways you can apply those colors to make them. So I'm going to add eyes to these. I'm going to clear coat them. Before I even clear coat them, I'm going to drop on the UVLS gloss. I probably should make a video about just putting the gloss and the clear coat on. And then I will coat it with Saluma UV and then put it into the curing box after I put the eyes on it. So again, if you like the videos, please like them, please share them, please click the bell for notifications, and subscribe to the channel and pass it along to other people so we can spread the love of painting fishing lures and for the craft that we love to do. So so just as a reminder, my name is Corey. I paint for here at CJ Custom Fishing Lures, and where we make serious baits for serious fish. Looking forward to seeing you on our next video, or hopefully one of these days we meet on the water. We can have some good laughs and memories as we fish out on the boats or on the docks. So until then, we'll see you in the next video.